What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV. In this video, we're gonna pit the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra versus the Galaxy S21 Ultra. And we're gonna do basically anything and everything I can think of for these phones, compare them. And at the end of the video, I'll tell you what I think's the better phone to get. So let's jump into this. Today's sponsor is ArmadilloTek cases. They make cases for all the major phone brands, and they're only 20 bucks. Super heavy duty and tons and tons of protection. And best of yet, maybe, it's got a kickstand. So when you want to prop this up to use your social media, watch videos, or do any of that kind of stuff, you can, all being hands-free. Tuck it away. And again, huge protection for 20 bucks. You can't beat it. Cases are linked down below if you want to pick one up. All right, guys, here we go. We have the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra versus the Galaxy S21 Ultra. And these phones, this one came out in August of 2020. This one came out in January of 2021. So obviously the S21 Ultra is a newer phone, but this is the first time we've seen an S Pen on, at least S Pen support for that matter, for the S line. It's always been only on the Note line. And these phones, taking a look at these, why don't we start with the back of these phones. So on the Note line, at least this one I have right here, since these are both kind of like the black variants of this phone, this one very shiny metallic. Then you get a matte look with the S21 Ultra. Honestly, I like both of them in terms of the back. I think this is more flashy, obviously. It's gonna get and show probably more fingerprints, but it's gonna have that kind of wow factor to it, more so than the matte black. But honestly, at the end of the day, if I had to choose just on the looks of these, I'd probably go S21 Ultra, just because matte, I'm just using a case anyway, so it won't matter. But if, it's cool. I like the matte, but at the same time, I really, really like this mirrory looking finish at the same time. As for the camera module on both of these, they're both, hunka big. With the S21 Ultra one wraps around, so it feels a little bit more in with the phone versus this, you can definitely feel it. Now, when you go to the other side, you can definitely feel the bump on both of the phones on the side here. Which one do I prefer? Again, they both have their own kind of design in terms of what they look like, but I guess it's tough because they both have very similar designs. I'm gonna go, it's tough. I guess I'll go with the Note 20 Ultra design, but this doesn't bother me. I kind of like that they made it feel like it's part of the phone rather than just like a module stuck onto there. And then other than that, you have the Samsung logos on the bottom there. Port selection is going to be the same on both of these phones. You're gonna get, USB-C on both, a speaker. Obviously with the Note phone, you get the S Pen that comes out right here. And we'll talk about the S Pen in a little bit, but the S Pen, this one has Bluetooth built into it, whereas the S line, the one that we have so far, does not have Bluetooth built into it. They are coming out with a Pro version that will have it, but currently the one that's out does not. And then the buttons are the same layout as well. So when you see the buttons on here, you're gonna get, they're all on the, the right-hand side. And then the other big thing about these phones is this Note line has the ability to put micro SD card expansion in it. So you're gonna be able to put expandable storage in the Note line. You will not with the S line. So if you need expandable storage, you're gonna wanna get the Note line. Also, storages are basically the same. They both go up to 512 gigabytes if you need, one of those versions. The other thing is the Note phone has MST. So if you use Samsung Pay and you like using Samsung Pay on like a swiping terminal because maybe it doesn't accept digital payments, you're gonna wanna go to the Note phone. S line of the S21 Ultra line does not have the ability. It can use Samsung Pay, but it has to use the NFC and it has to allow digital payments. So that's another area that the Note wins in. In terms of holding these in your hand, I actually think the S line, the S21 Ultra, is more comfortable. It's got rounded edges rather than this kind of like squared off design. So it's a little bit easier and more comfortable to hold the S21 Ultra versus the Note 20 Ultra. Not like a million times more comfortable, but to me, it is a little bit more comfortable. As for the designs as well, you know, they have 6.9-inch display on the Note 20 Ultra, 6.8-inch display on the S21 Ultra, and they both have the camera hole at the top and the middle. But beyond that, you know, very, very similar, you know, displays. And the big difference with the display is, and I'll show you this in a second, is that they can both do 120 Hertz, which is a refresh rate, makes it feel really, really smooth. But at the same time, the Note line can only do 1080p, whereas the S21 Ultra can do the full 2K plus, aka WQHD plus resolution. So the screen should look a little bit better on the S21 Ultra, but when you come down to it, the screens are so small, you know, compared to like a TV, that's going to be hard to really tell any differences with 1080p versus 2K. But again, the S21 Ultra can do higher resolution with the same refresh rate, 120 Hertz. In terms of like day-to-day performance, both of them are going to be very, very quick. You know, even though this runs a Snapdragon 888 and this runs a Snapdragon 865 plus, they're both, again, going to be very, very similar in terms of, you know, opening up apps and things like that. They're going to feel very, very similar. You shouldn't really notice any differences between the two phones. And for the most part, especially with day-to-day operation, they're both very, very fast. And they're going to feel very, very fluid overall, which is a perfect thing when you want a phone. So, you know, again, you're not going to run into too much. Gaming wise, I don't really game on my phones, but if you did, you'll probably get a couple more frames per second on the S21 Ultra just because it has a newer, faster processor. But again, the grand scheme of things, both of them are going to run really, really well with gaming and apps and, you know, whatever else you're doing on your phone, just to get things done. They're going to be very, very similar. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. But again, this should run just a little bit better. Just if you notice it enough, it'll run a little bit faster, the S21 Ultra. Both of these have pretty good cameras on here. The big difference, at least in my eyes, is 4K 60 is not stabilized on the Note 20 Ultra, but on the S21 Ultra, it is stabilized. So if you need and want stabilized 4K 60 video, you're gonna wanna go with the S21 Ultra. Also, the S21 Ultra can do up to 100x zoom. So if you want to go to the 100x to zoom into the moon or something like that, you can. The Note line only does 50, but I mean, it's no slouch. Don't worry about it. You're not going to see a lot of difference, at 50x. But I'll do some. I'll show you some different videos of these two phones in hand, the front and the back, and then also take some photos and we can compare. Okay, so I'm looking at the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra using the microphones that are built into this one so you get an idea how this looks and sounds. I'm now going to jump over to the Galaxy S21 Ultra so you can get an idea which one looks, which one sounds better. Let me know in the comments down below. I'm now using the ultra wide on the Note 20 Ultra, and I should let you know it's 4K 30 on all these videos that I've been doing just because 4K 60 on the Note 20 Ultra is not stabilized, and also you can't do 4K 60 on the ultra wide, whereas you can on the S21 Ultra. This is the audio and video from the S21 Ultra. How does it look? How does it sound compared to the other phone that we just did, the Note 20 Ultra? Again, this is the S21 Ultra. Here's a nighttime video. Currently looking at the S21 Ultra, and then I have the Note 20 Ultra over here. Which one looks sounds better outside while I walk and at night? Let me know. Here we go. Next, let's check out the sound of these. These both have stereo speakers, so we'll play a song here. So without a doubt, the S21 Ultra is louder, better sounding speakers to my ears versus the Note 20 Ultra. Software experience, both phones run One UI 3. The S21 Ultra is on One UI 3.1. And, there's a couple of different things. You can do background call. When you get a call, you can have like a background video or photo playing on it with the S21 Ultra. Also, when you go over from the left to the right, you can now have Google as your news little feed over here onto the left. But beyond that, there's not a huge amount of difference between the software. And then eventually this will get 3.1 anyway. One of the bigger differences is the S Pen. So like I said, the Note 20 Ultra does have the S Pen, and with the S Pen for here, at the time of making this video, I can come in here and I have all this same stuff, and I'll show you as well on here to, write on the phone and all that, to take a note, whatever I want to do, all that stuff is basically the same. I can do that on the S20 Ultra, which I'll show you in a minute. The big differences are you can actually use the pen to kind of control your phone. If I press and hold it, it's going to open up my camera. I can double press it to switch between my cameras. I can press it once to take a photo. Also with the Note phone, you have air actions so that you can control your phone and do different things on it. With the S Pen, I never use this feature. It's really gimmicky in my eyes. You might love it, but holding the pen and doing all these weird gestures in the air, it just isn't, to me, it's not natural. Again, maybe you absolutely love it. You cannot do that currently with the regular S Pen for the S21 Ultra. So if you need stuff like that, you're gonna want the Note line. I really love the S Pen as a way to take photos and things from far away. That's great for the Note line, and I love being able to store it away as well. But other than that, I'm not a huge S Pen user. Also with the S Pen, the one for the S21 Ultra is so much larger. It's way, way bigger. And you need to, if you want to house it with the phone, you have to get a specialized case. The only ones I know of currently that I've really looked for are with Samsung, and they hide away pretty decently. And when you get the case, it actually comes with the S Pen, so you don't have to buy the S Pen separately. But it is something to take note of, that if you do want a case for it, you're gonna have to, that it houses away, you will have to get it from Samsung. To be honest with you though, writing with these two S Pens, it's actually more comfortable with the larger one that comes, or that you can buy extra with the S21 Ultra. So, I love that. And also you can see the thing popped up so I can take a note and write. Writing with them feels, to me, fairly similar. I don't really notice a lot of difference just writing in terms on the screen, the latency or anything like that. They both feel pretty accurate and fast. The other thing is again, it just feels a little bit more natural with this one. When the Pro version of this comes out, you're gonna get Bluetooth features with it. So you should be able to, do a lot of the, gimmicky stuff that you can with this one on the Pro version of the S21 Ultra's S Pen when it comes out. Both of these phones come with a built-in fingerprint sensor underneath the display. The one for the S21 Ultra is way better. It's so much more accurate. I don't have to press nearly as hard as I did with the Note 20 Ultra. So if you're looking for the better fingerprint sensor for accuracy and just ease of use, definitely without a doubt, go with the S21 Ultra. The one on the Note 20 Ultra and I'm having trouble bringing it up right now because my phone keeps getting unlocked with smart lock, but it's better than it was in the past, but it's still not as good as the one with the S21 Ultra. It's so much more accurate and just less of a strain with the S21 Ultra. Batteries on both of these phones, you're gonna get a 5,000 milliamp on the S21 Ultra. On the Note 20 Ultra, you're gonna get a 4,500 milliamp battery. Probably not gonna see a lot of a difference, in terms of battery life on a day-to-day basis. The S21 Ultra should squeak out a little bit more, but if you're running it at, the full resolution, 120 Hertz at WQHD+, it should probably even about out. Here's both phones maxed out in terms of them playing a video at the same time. When I look at them, I don't see a lot of a difference in terms of quality or anything like that. They both look fantastic. They both get really, really bright, up to 1600 nits of brightness. So, whichever one you choose, I think you'd be really happy. All right, so after comparing these phones, me personally, I'm not a huge S Pen user. Plus, I always want the latest and the greatest. I don't need micro SD card expansion, especially with the storage sizes that the Galaxy S21 Ultra has, 128, 256, or 512. And at that point, I would definitely, without a doubt, want the Galaxy S21 Ultra. To me, the cameras are better. It's got a faster processor, has equal amounts of RAM depending upon which version of the phone that you choose. Both of these phones have extremely bright displays, basically the same size displays. So at that point, I'm going the S21 Ultra. But again, if you need micro SD card expansion, if you love the S Pen being built right into the phone, that might be a reason for you to get the Note 20 Ultra. Both of them are fantastic phones. You really won't go wrong with either one. But again, for me, I think the better buy is the S21 Ultra. I'll link both of these down below if you want to buy either of them. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys down the road. Peace.